Shalom, family. Let me just double check things and make sure everything is working okay. All right. Can everybody hear me okay? Sorry for the delay. I've been trying to get this video going for a minute now, but I had some things I need to put in here because there's a couple of videos I really wanted you to check out. And so, here we go. Okay, I want y'all to really pay attention to what I'm about to show you here because it's very shocking. Okay. Natural disasters are increasing and death tolls are rising. And I know you've heard the news about the floods in Morocco and Greece and the earthquake in Morocco and the floods in Greece and Libya and Turkey and the different things that's going on all over the world. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it is very, very shocking. So I want you to really pay attention to what I'm about to show you here. I want you to look at some of these images and some of these things that I'm going to put through for you. It's really frightening. I'm going to say this right now. It's very frightening to see all of the things that's happening all over the world. And I have the volume turned up all the way, so there's not much more I could do with the volume here. So just bear with me. Anyway, these natural disasters are just really, really revving up, y'all. And I want y'all to see something because it's not just, it's all over the world, but it's happening in the United States too. Okay, so let's get right into this. Okay, let's first go with this video here that I want you to see. And this is the floods that's going on in Libya.
Also, hundreds of people are feared dead in eastern Libya after a major storm struck this weekend. The head of one of Libya's rival governments says flooding may have claimed the lives of as many as 2,000 people. Thousands of others are missing right now. The United Nations says it closely is monitoring the situation there and is ready to provide urgent humanitarian need.
Now, that's what's going on in Libya. The earthquakes in Morocco. Let's see if I can bring up some of these images for you here so you can see some of these images. I meant to loop these images into a slideshow, but I didn't get a chance to. Let me see if I could do that now, because I really wanted you to see these images. Bear with me one moment here. I want you to see some of these images and some of the stuff that's going on in Morocco. And these are some of the images that's some of the things that's going on in Morocco, where the earthquake happened in Morocco. As you can see, they have been devastated. They're saying right now there's close to 3,000 people that are dead from this earthquake. As you can see in Morocco, it's just horrible, you know, the earthquake that took place there. And so what I want you to see and understand is what the scripture says concerning these things. Now I got some more images I want to show you here. Just bear with me one moment. Let me show you these other images. And so these are some of the flood images that I'm going to show you now that's going on in Greece. And so the whole world is actually being devastated by a lot of different events. So it's not just the floods that we're seeing right now in these couple of areas that we're showing you, but there are other things going on like wildfires and hurricanes and just all types of things that are going on all over the world. And so I want to share these scriptures with you, because the scriptures actually tells you that this is going to happen, but it gives you a clue as to what to look for in the last days. And so when you see the increase of this one event or this one natural disaster, it's actually telling you that this is what's going on. This is the last days when you see this, right? So I'm going to show you this, right? Because it's the birth pains that the scriptures talked about. So I want you to pay attention, because you need to see how close we are to a lot of this stuff, right? So now, watch this. Let's go to, see if I can pull this up on another file here. I want you to see these graphs. I was moving so fast that I forgot to get my other graphs for you. Let's see if it'll allow me to connect to my other computer. Okay, so now I want you to pay attention. I'm going to show you this here. See if I can get this then. Okay. It is recorded in the scriptures that natural disasters will grow in frequency and intensity in the last days. That's in the scriptures, right? So if you want to know how close we are concerning to the last days or the end times, all you need to do is really look at the natural disasters that's in the news, right? That's the word. I'll prove it to you, right? These floods, earthquakes, and storms and stuff that's going on, and the increase of it is Yah trying to tell you to be ready, right? So let's go to Matthew chapter 24, verse 3 through 8. Matthew chapter 24, verses 3 through 8. And this is what the scriptures say. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be a sign of thy coming and the end of the world? So he said, you're returning and the end of the world, right? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying that I am Christ, or I am the Messiah, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars, and see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Now notice you said all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. What things come to pass? These people claiming to be the Messiah, rumors of wars, and these troubles that you're going to see, the end is not yet. Then he goes and he says, now watch this. Then he says, after that, nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrow. So he said, he named, one of the things he named it were earthquakes, right, in divers places. Now pay attention. I want you to see this. Pay attention. Okay? Watch this. Let's go to Luke chapter 21, and we're going to read verse 25 and 26. Okay, watch this. Okay. Luke chapter 21, verse 25 and 26. This is what it says. So he's telling them what's going to happen in the last days. The Messiah's telling them in the last days what to look for. Listen to what he says. And there should be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations, with perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring. Men's heart failing them for fear, for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. So he's saying basically you're going to see some natural disasters. That's what he's talking about here. You're going to see an increase in the natural disasters. Winds roaring, waves roaring, the seas and the waves are roaring, and the stress of nations, and you're going to see all these weird signs in the stars and in the moon, right? He's letting you know that these things that's happening on earth are going to cause men's hearts to fail, because they ain't going to know what to do, because it's going to be natural disasters, right? But I got another scripture for you, right? Watch this. Watch this. Okay? Watch this scripture here. Now, let's go down to Revelations chapter 11, verse 13. Actually, Revelations chapter 6, verse 12. And 12 through 16. This is what it says. It's Revelation chapter 6, verse 12 through 16. It says, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled up together, and every mountain and island was moved out of their places. Wow. How is that going to happen? The earthquakes, right? There's going to be so many earthquakes that's going to happen until the mountains, every mountain and hill and island is going to get moved out of their places, right? and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in dens, and in the rocks, and in the mountains, and said unto the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. Wow, so they know that when these natural disasters happen, see, that's why you got to understand what's going on. It's the natural disasters that's going to prove that it's Yah doing this. He got to use these natural disasters, right? Because that'll make a person get their eyes open and say, man, it is him. It is him. It is the Almighty doing this. Because they know that only he can cause this, right? Notice it says, for the great day of his wrath is come, who shall be able to stand? Wow. Got another one for you, right? Let's go to Revelation chapter 11, verse 13. It says, in the same hour there was a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. And the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to Elohim of heaven. So 7,000 men are going to get slain in this one earthquake that's going to destroy a 10th part of a city. That's telling you right now these earthquakes are a sign. So when you hear about these earthquakes, know that we're getting closer and closer, right? So watch this. I'm going to tell you right now. It's going to happen. You're going to hear in the news of more and more earthquakes over the next couple of years. You're going to start to hear of so many more earthquakes because it's telling you in the scriptures. It's getting more and more. Even now as I speak, earthquakes are getting more and more. These natural disasters are getting more and more frequent, right? So pay attention, right? Watch this. Now I got another scripture. Got one more scripture. Revelation chapter 16, verse 18. Revelation chapter 16, verse 18. This is what it says. And there were voices, thunders, and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth. So mighty an earthquake, and so great. And the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. Wow. And great Babylon came in remembrance before Yah, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. Are you hearing this, right? And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven. Every stone was about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed Elohim because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great. So wait a minute. This earthquake is going to happen. It's going to be something like no man has ever seen before. And it's going to shake the earth to the point to where islands are going to be covered up by the waters. Are you hearing me? It's going to cause tsunamis. It's going to be so bad. Notice, it says, in the cities of the nations fell. The cities of the nations fell, and the great Babylon came into remembrance. Wait a minute. It says the cities of the nations fell. Wow. So pay attention. This is what Yah's talking about that's going to happen in the last days. These great earthquakes are going to happen all over, right? Now, I want to show you another video. Just bear with me here. I want to show you this video. I want you to pay attention, right? And listen to what this lady say in this video. Pay attention.
Yeah, and Lisa, 2023 is already broken a record, and we still got 4 months to go.
Yeah, the numbers just through August already put us at the top spot, just staggering numbers already for the year. Here's the map. It looks really busy, and that's the point, right? There's just so many events that we had to track already this year. You can see a plethora of severe events here, ranging from wind, hail, and some flooding. Hurricane Idalia, of course, made landfall in Florida. The Maui wildfires are on here, and some of that flooding that we had from all of that spring melt, from all the snow that we had last winter, all of that flooding in California also made the list. When you look at the line graph, it really tells the story. The last couple of years are way above the average. The average is 7 disasters in a year. And from 2017, 2020, 2021, we've had more than 15 disasters a year. Look at 2023. It is sticking out like a sore thumb, already way above the other past years. And again, that's only 8 months in. So 23 separate billion-dollar disasters already puts it the most on record in a year. The average is 7. 253 people were killed directly and indirectly, and our costs are more than $57 billion and counting. Idalia, the Maui wildfires, really top that list, and the days between disasters is decreasing as they become more common. In the 1980s, we used to get 20 disasters in a decade. Look at that. When you look at numbers by the decade now, like I said, we're doing 20 in a year. So you're looking at 100 disasters in a decade. It's really staggering how they've increased 5-fold since the 1980s. And again, if we have more disasters, that means the time between them to recover is decreasing significantly. Look at this. In the 1980s, we used to have about 80 days in between disasters to recover, both physically and mentally. Look at how much that has decreased. We now have 20 days or less in between these massive disasters to recover, both, again, physically rebuilding our homes and our businesses, and mentally. This takes a mental toll. It is stressful to see these disasters on TV day in and day out, just going from one to the next. So again, really takes a toll. You can see all 50 states here finding increase in disasters, especially these, you see the deep reds in the southeast from Texas over to the Carolinas with an increase in disasters. And when you look at the type of disasters, the purple all showing severe storms taking over much of the country, the tropics obviously impacting Florida a lot. Then you have drought and wildfire that really impacts the west coast there. So again, some staggering numbers. We still